Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. Whether you're watching this on YouTube and the video or you're listening, I'm Lindsay Dollinger. I'm super excited to be chatting with you today. If you're watching this video and you're like, girl, you look a little tired. Well, girl, it's because I am. It has been quite the week, but I wanted to go ahead and get this recorded because I never like to wait till the last minute. And by last minute, it's like 4 days before it's recording. I'm recording this on Thursday. It drops on Monday. But still, like I like to have my weekend without having to worry about whether I'm going to be in a good mood and have good energy to do the show. And so anyway, I worked all day and I'm still a classroom teacher. So I worked all day. And then I went to my dad's, picked up my dog. And then my dad was like, let's go to dinner. And I was like, okay. I'm really big, especially since I lost my mom 10 years ago, in making sure to spend as much time with my family and my friends and my loved ones as much as I possibly can. So I don't like to say no if I don't have to. And tonight I don't have another meeting. I have a travel agent meeting. It's optional to be recorded, but I like to listen live if I can at 8 o'clock. So I was like, you know what? I don't have really anything else going on besides laundry that I just got started. I should go with my dad. So anyway, I just went to dinner with my dad and sitting down to record this about social media. And I am going to be sharing, let me pull up just to make sure, 7 strategies for building your social media for a travelpreneur, whether you are a travel content creator, travel agency, whether you're just someone who likes to travel. This will also pertain to you, and you'll be able to tweak this to your business and your niche. We just wanted to give a little life update before we dive into that, and it'll be short, I promise. But a couple things: tickets to Purpose, Profits, and Pixie Dust Live are still on sale. They're on sale until the end of March. Please don't wait till last minute. I'm trying to get numbers for everything, and I want to make sure that I am finding sponsors who really align with us and bring you the best possible things. And it really helps if you're able to go ahead and secure your ticket for that. Also, I want to make sure that I have a spot for you and that you get into our hotel room block, which is extremely limited because there is another group. I don't know if they're a wedding or conference or what in the hotel with the room block at the same time. So that is first come, first serve. And you want to take advantage of that because the next closest hotel is probably a 10 to 15 minute drive, and it's not in an ideal part of town, if you know what I'm saying. So we want you in our hotel room block if at all possible. And I just want to be able to celebrate you that you are coming. So there are single ticket passes available, and there are also girlfriend pass available. So if you are, especially my network marketing ladies, or you're in a real estate office, you're a doctor, you want to grab some of your doctor friends, your lawyer friend, I don't care, but grab some of your girlfriends, go in together on a girlfriend pass. It is for 3 people, and I deeply discounted it. So then, it's definitely to your advantage to do the girlfriend pass. So get those bots. I actually, now that I say that, I need to go in and put a limit on those so I don't oversell the room. But get your tickets to Purpose, Profits, and Pixie Dust Live. It's the first weekend in June, and it is essentially a conference like you've never been to before, where you're going to actually walk away from the conference having put into action the things that you learned. So it's workshop style. We're going to have a lot of fun. We have a pajama networking party on the first night to kick us off. And I really I have been envisioning this event for so long. And especially if you've never been to an event, this would be a great first event for you to go to because you're going to be hooked. So anyway, we are in full preparation mode for that. I'm getting, our workbooks together to send off to our sponsor, lulu.com, who is amazing. And it's just going to be fabulous. So I'm in full planning mode for that. I have planned in the last week, I don't know how many vacations for myself and for other people, but I booked my first river cruise with AMA Waterways. I'm so excited about that. Also got approved for my first official FAM trip, which if you're not familiar, FAM trips for travel agents are I think it's short for familiarization trip. So it's basically you getting familiar with the products, you can promote it. So I got approved for my first one of those, which is, I'm just super hyped. And we're going on a cruise the end of this month as well, which I outlined a little bit today in the email if you're on my email list that went out. So check that out, hear about the things up and coming. And then also personal life things. My sister has been out of town at some workshops this week and then next week, which is the current week that you're listening to this. So I've been on single mom dog duty. And let me tell you what, this has made me really question if I could ever actually be a single mom, because that is something that I have debated as I'm getting older. And I'm like, okay, I want a child. So maybe I should, think of alternative ways of being a parent. And honestly, I don't know if I could handle it. I'm not going to lie. So I would love to hear from you if you were a single mom and maybe were a single mom, going into it and what that journey looked like for you. I've had some really good discussions with some of my friends, and I know they have all done it and survived, but I really like my sleep and I am very sleep deprived this week. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this was just a little sign from the big man upstairs that this isn't the time for that. So anyway, that's a little bit of long story short of what's going on with me. But then on the exciting part with the whole passports, profits, and pixie dust conversion, I've gotten a lot of really great feedback from you guys. So thank you so much. And thank you for sharing this podcast with your travel agent friends, especially, but your travelpreneur friends, your travel creator friends. And I'm just really excited to what this is going to look like. So very last thing that I want to promote before we dive into the episode is I do have one new Facebook group and one Facebook group that got a facelift, and you're probably in it if you're listening to the show, but the two of them, I have one called Travel Agent Tips for Selling Disney and Universal. So if you are specifically a travel agent wanting to sell more Disney or Universal, or maybe that's already your specialty, I hope you'll pop in there. I really like the vibe of the group, and I really intend to keep it this way. This and my other group, before I dive into that, my other group is Profitable Marketing and Systems for Travelpreneurs and Travel Agents. So that was the group that I have been posting in, that I believe was called like Marketing and Sales for Women Entrepreneurs or something like that. And Systems, I don't even remember now. But anyway, I will link both of those in the show notes, and the YouTube video if you're watching over here on YouTube. But I am going to be very careful with the environment that I'm crafting in those groups, because I'll be honest, especially the past 2 months, have been joining a lot of other groups for travel agents, and I don't like the vibe of them. Like, there's a couple of them that I really like being in and checking them out. And then there's some other ones that it feels like catty, sorority girl, mean girl stuff. And I'll be honest, like, I get enough of that in high school as a high school teacher. I don't want to do that when I'm working my business and online. So, if maybe you're in some of those other groups and they make you feel icky too, maybe come on over and check out the atmosphere that I have over here. And if you're not, I'm glad you're not. You don't know what I'm talking about in the other groups, but we're not going to bash agencies and agents who are in an MLM just because they're in an MLM. We're not going to bash people for not understanding certain things. We're not going to bash people for fees or charging fees, or take screenshots of what people are commenting on potential clients' posts and say how spammy it feels. Like, it's just gross. So anyway, you guys know my opinion on that. We're not going to do that in my realm. So just know that that will be monitored. But so far I have not had anyone, do anything on the contrary. And I like that. I feel like the containers that I have are never really attract those kind of people, but I'm going to try to keep it that way. So just an FYI, if you're in other groups too, my group's not going to be like that. So come on over, and I hope to see you inside the Facebook groups. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay. Now I lost, because I have my Trello board up in 2 locations. I organize all my stuff for my podcast on Trello board, but 7 social media strategies for travelpreneurs. And this, like I said, is going to be like an overview today. And I would love to get feedback from you on which ones you want me to dive further into for future episodes, and any questions that you have, whether that is commenting on the YouTube video here, or whether that is sending me a message, replying to my email, DMs, whatever it is, so that I know which one of these to dive further into in future episodes. And they are kind of in order. So let's go. Strategy number 1 is to define your travel niche and your brand. So general travel content is not going to help you stand out. And I know that can be really easy to post, and it's okay to, post some of these more general things. But if you're able to pick a niche, Disney vacations, Universal vacations, cruises, specifically river cruises, ocean cruises, maybe it's carnival cruises, luxury travel, adventure travel, honeymoons, things like that. That is going to be able to help your brand be instantly recognizable on social media. And this goes for you no matter what your business is, honestly. Like, as I don't want to say as narrow as you can niche, although I do believe in that. But I also think when we start out, it can be really easy to niche down too small and like too specific. But niching down, maybe it is couples travel, family travel, retirees travel. Those sorts of things can really help you not only be sure that you're attracting people that you want to work with, but it also helps you create your content and create all the rest of the stuff that I'm getting ready to talk about as well. So that when you sit down to do it, kind of what your focus is going to be. Okay, strategy number 2, create a content plan that converts for you. Just because it's working for other people doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. But I'm going to give you 4 types of content that travel entrepreneurs should really consider having. And again, these 4 pillars of content, every entrepreneur needs to consider having. So type number 1 is authority building posts. So why are you the go-to expert? This can be sharing stories. This can be sharing your experience. And it doesn't have to be like really formal either. You can just share some things that you learned or how you are continuing to learn and how you just got a new certification and how you just checked out this location. It was really awesome. So those authority building posts, this alone for me has been how I have grown my Disney travel business as much as I have, because people see me going to Disney all the time and they're like, okay, well, if I'm planning my trip to Disney, you definitely need to ask Lindsay because she knows all the stuff. And that's because I have shared about my trips over and over and over again. The second type of content is engagement posts. So this can be polls, quizzes. You can do this or that with travel choices. You can, just be asking questions. People love to give their feedback on anything, and it can be travel related or not. So like if you're able to tie it in, even better. So, like what's your favorite kind of shoe that you can wear all day at Disney? Favorite kind of shoe posts for me always get tons of engagement because people are very, very loyal to their shoe types. Okay. Number 3, promotional posts. How can people book with you? And this one can always get hard for some people to share about. So what I started doing back when this was really hard for me was every Thursday without fail, I always put up a post on how people could book with me, how people could work with me, what products and services, how can you work with me sort of post. What do I have going on? And with travel agents, we're kind of booking travel all the time. But if you're listening to this and you're a content creator and maybe you have a course that you do and it's not open right now, well, your promotional post then is going to be, to your lead magnet or your freebie. But having something so that every Thursday you're going to do it, for example, helps you get into that pattern. And then if you've already promoted your stuff a couple times, you can still do it on Thursday or you don't have to. But know that you already have that kind of scheduled in that you're going to promote yourself on Thursday, a direct promotion. And then type number 4 is your personal brand storytelling, which I kind of tied this in back with authority building posts, but your personal brand, sharing your experiences. So for me in the travel agency, this would be like sharing my travel agent experiences, sharing all the places that I've traveled, sharing where my clients are traveling, sharing my client wins, those sorts of things. And just sharing your experiences. Like, you'll never believe what happened yesterday in my hotel, or you'll never believe this one time. And people love my stories from when I traveled abroad. I used to tell the stories about how my host family had the SWAT team called on me and my roommate, because we basically kind of broke into our house because they refused to give us a key and they were supposed to be home and they weren't, and it was late at night. So we broke in, and then these sirens went off and the Peruvian SWAT team came. And so every once in a while, I haven't shared that story in years online, but people loved it, ate it up. So stories like that about your travels, for example, if you have anything like that, and if you don't, that's okay. You will have them. Tell other sorts of stories so that people get, what's the word? They not empathize with you, but maybe empathize with you. But they're oh my gosh, I can't think. Like they want to be your friend. Like they feel like they're sitting at a cafe with you and you are sharing these stories and they're like, oh my gosh, and what happened next? And what happened next? Kind of deal. Okay. And with all of this, with creating a content plan, if this helps you, create a weekly posting schedule. Like right now, I just have a very simple Google spreadsheet up, and I have been creating content. And right now I have my content batched until the first week of April. And I'm doing that so that my VA can post it for me. And it's actually been really good because it's forced me to think ahead a little bit on my content. So maybe give that a try. I've also used Trello boards for content organization in the past. So if you want me to go into any of that and how I plan content and ways that I plan content, let me know, because I could do an entire podcast episode on that. All right, let's dive into strategy number 3. And this is one that I feel like preaching to the choir is one phrase. The other phrase, do as I say and not as I do. This is a goal of mine to get better at this year. And I have started creeping into this just a little bit. But it is leveraging short form video. So Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, and now they're doing short form video over on LinkedIn. I was just listening to a podcast today about it, Katie Brinkley's podcast. I think it's called Rocky Mountain Marketing, possibly. Anyway, and she was just saying how LinkedIn has just, rolled out short form video. I was gonna say short-term video, and that wasn't right. Short form video, and how, take advantage of it right now while they're pushing it out in the algorithm. So here's some ideas. So first of all, ChatGPT or Claude AI can really help you come up with some amazing ideas for this. But you know what I did? This is going to be like my little tip for you. For getting ideas, and I have an entire list of them now on my Trello board, so there's really no excuse for me not to make them. I actually got ideas for short-term videos off of Pinterest. So I went to Pinterest and I typed in, Disney cruises or Disney cruise tips. And I looked at all of the catchy covers on the different Pinterest pins, and I jotted down a bunch of them, and I tweaked them to kind of make them my own, right? 3 reasons to visit blank destination in 2025. What your travel agent wished that you knew. My client paid X amount for this trip, and here's what they got. Or behind the scenes sorts of videos. All of these can be super easy for you to make very easily, whether you're just talk to camera and you shoot it from a couple different angles, or whether you're just making them on Canva. I actually bought a ton of B-roll from, oh gosh, what is this? Steeryourmarketing.com. I have the window open right now. And her podcast is the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur podcast. Her first name's Rita. I think it's Rita Perez. Anyway, love her stuff. And there's just a bunch of B-roll. It's for cruises. So it's for, river cruises and ocean cruises. But anyway, I've been taking pieces of that and putting my own words over it and making reels and TikToks out of it. So give it a try if you haven't yet. But I would say that's going to be strategy number 3 for 2025. Strategy number 4, use social proof and testimonials. So harness the power of storytelling through past clients. And if you're like, Lindsay, I am brand new, I don't have a past client, I guarantee you have a past client. Whether they paid you or not, you have helped plan a trip for someone, whether it is your parents, whether it is your Aunt Sally, who you gave her all the recommendations on places she needed to go in Amsterdam, whether it was your college spring break trip, right? You have booked things for people without even knowing it. So ask them for testimonials. Ask your current clients, if you already have some clients, for some testimonials. Take screenshots of the text that they send you while they're on vacation or once they get home about how awesome it was and how easy you made it, and just, blur out their name or things like that. Maybe do a before and after post. Before they booked, this is what they were worried about. After they booked, this is what they're saying. But use that so that other people see, like, oh, hey, other people are booking with her. It's safe. It's safe to do that. I should give it a try because they had a really awesome time. And I want to have a really awesome time when I go to Disney as well. All right, strategy number 5. Optimize your Instagram and your Facebook and whatever platforms you are using for sales. So your profile checklist needs to be this. Open up your profile, look at your bio, look at your highlights. And this would be like on Instagram, but look at your highlights, like your story highlights. Look at your contact links. Do you have a clear call to action? Do you have a clear call to action on some of your posts? This can make such a big difference. Does your cover photo have clickable links on Facebook? All these different sorts of things. Go through your profile and think, okay, if someone was coming to my profile and they didn't really know me very well, or we haven't talked in forever, but they happen to see a post and they wanted to come check out what I'm doing, is it very obvious what I do, how I do it, who I help, and how they can work with me? Because I'll tell you what, friends, a lot of people will send you a DM, but some people won't. Like if there's not a link where they can click and, fill out a quote form or find out a little bit more about you and your business, it's very likely that you are going to lose that sale. So have those things in place so that people can easily work with you. Think of it as your digital business card. Strategy number 6, and this one's going to be like an upper level strategy, so I don't want you to freak out about this one quite yet, especially if you're newer, but collaborate with influencers, travel bloggers, other people in your space, other entrepreneurs. They don't even have to be in the travel space. Get creative. Find micro influencers. So it doesn't have to be people with hundreds of thousands of people in their following, just people who are building up some credibility, that are posting good sorts of content that you can do guest features with. You can cross promote each other. You can do giveaways together to grow your audience. So for example, maybe you want to partner with a Disney mom influencer for some sort of giveaway where you're going to give away, like, okay, I'll give you like another little hack here. Amazon just started doing Amazon Haul, which is essentially their version of like AliExpress, where they get things in from China, which the prices might be going up now. Not going to dive into that, but you know what I mean. But you can go on there and find lots of really great travel gifts. So the beginning of this year, I went on and I bought a ton of things for giveaways. So I got like little like TSA size like toiletry kits and foldable duffel bags and foldable beach towels. And I'm trying to think what else, like collapsible water bottles, cruise luggage tags, different things that I'm going to send to my clients, but that I'm also planning on doing as giveaways, for part of my business. So you can go online and very cheaply find some of that and pair up with someone to do a giveaway. So, get creative with your collaborations. And then the last strategy, I won't say it's not a strategy because it's not, but it is just being consistent and using engagement, the power of engagement. So for social media success, you have to be social. So respond to every comment, every DM and question. And remember, it doesn't have to be immediately. You do not have to be tied to your phone. I actually had an agent on my team reach out to me today because she was getting a little overwhelmed with everything. And I'm like, girl, mute it. You don't have to be in the agency group chats. You don't even have to be in the agency Facebook pages if you don't want to. That's just kind of for your news. I personally love Facebook groups because I have my notifications for everything turned off, but I pop in them maybe once an evening or once every 2 days, or maybe if I'm really, really busy that week, I'll pop into it on the weekend and catch up on news, things I missed, what's going on in the world of travel, right? But I make sure to have those boundaries where I'm being social when I can and when it works for me. But eventually I do always go back and I respond to the comments and the DMs and the questions, because that helps me to show people that I'm really serious about my business and that I care about them. And I'm not just posting things to be posting it. I'm posting it to be social and to have that sort of engagement and build those relationships with people. And those relationships with people is how people are going to support you and buy your product, whether that product is travel and a trip, or whether that product is a course or clothes that you're making or different things like that. So let's recap the 7 strategies. 1 was defining your travel niche and your brand. Strategy 2 was creating a content plan that converts for you. Strategy 3 was leveraging short form video. Strategy 4, using social proof and testimonials. Strategy 5, optimize your social media profiles for sales. Strategy 6 is collaborate with others. And strategy 7 is consistency and engagement are key. So make time for those things. So my homework for you, my call to action for you, is to choose 1 to 2 of these strategies to implement this week. Take a screenshot of you listening to this or watching this, share it in your stories, and drop which strategy you're going to do. And I'm going to hold you accountable for that. So make sure you head over to my free Facebook group, one or the other. Share this with your friends and your stories by letting us know which strategies you're going to implement. And make sure you come back for next week to keep up this conversation. Also, grab your ticket to Purpose Profits and Pixie Dust Live. Mwah. Love you. Go out there and create and own your magic.